Welcome to the quick hitter version of the Mike Wise Show. I'm Bruce Bernstein, filling in for Mike this week. Our guest is Steve Bulpett, who's been covering the NBA for nearly 4 decades. And our topic this week is the Boston Celtics and whether the acquisition of Evan Fournier means that Kemba Walker might need to take on a new role. So is it automatic that when Fournier comes here that he's going to come off the bench, or is there any chance he might end up in the starting lineup?
I'm not sure. I would think bench might be smart because you want Marcus Smart with your first team, because I think you're trying to get them to try to establish a bit of a defensive presence sooner in the game. That hasn't been, even with Smart, it hasn't always worked out that way, but there's obviously a better opportunity with him there. And having a guy like Fournier on the coming off the bench gives you an extra scoring element there that might be really, really beneficial.
So here's kind of a crazy question, and I don't know if it's even practical that this could be done, but if you're supposedly somebody who thinks out of the box, as Brad Stevens, we've been told, is one of those guys, right? What about something like this? Put Fournier in the starting lineup with Smart, make Kemba the sixth man, and could that work from a chemistry point of view? Would Kemba, being the highest paid guy on the team, accept that role? Is he the type of personality that would say, you know what, I got my money, I want the team to do well, I'll do that? And then, because one of the things I think that could, there's really a couple things I think that could have a positive impact on. Number one, as you saw last night, sometimes he starts quick out of the gate. So if you want to get a guy off the bench that helps you, bring somebody in who heats up like really fast. Number two, if he's playing sixth man minutes, maybe he can play back to backs because he's not going to have as many minutes on him. What do you feel that's something they should consider or even would consider?
Well, intellectually, it makes a lot of sense. And when Bruce Springsteen is making sense like that.
I know, scary.
No, I think it might work in theory offensively, and I think Kemba is a guy that would accept whatever is going to be right for the situation, for the overall thing. I think the only issue I would have with it is you're going to have Kemba and Peyton Pritchard in, and how's that going to be defensively? But then again, the pace will be faster. So you'd be playing more of an up and down game. So there'll be less opportunity for them to get perhaps back down and taken advantage of in a half court set. But, it's going to be the who starts and all of that stuff. I think, Red Auerbach's always said it was more important who finishes. And I think that's going to be more interesting. But again, above all of that is, how are they going to play? How are they going to play well together? How will they mesh? Look, if the ball is moving and guys are cutting and being rewarded for those cuts, sometimes you cut just to clear out space for somebody else. That kind of sacrificial game is really, really important. Yeah. A guy can make a great drive to the hoop, but really it's the guy who sealed off the man that could have helped, that was the star of the play. So, it's really how are they going to play that's going to determine things, I think. What style will they play? So
Fournier's like what, 6'6", 6'7"?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty big guard. But they say he's pretty good playmaker. I admit, most of the time I've watched him shoot. I haven't really watched his all-around game as much as I should. But the word is that he's a playmaker, whatever. So I don't know. It seems like, again, the whole Kemba coming off the bench thing, also there's another element to that, which is now that Williams should really be starting, can you bring Tristan Thompson in to kind of anchor the bigs on the second unit? So it's kind of a Kemba, Tristan Thompson anchored second team. And Tristan can help out when it comes to, covering some ground defensively, right?
Yeah. Well, I'd actually put, with that setup, I might actually, reverse them and have Rob Williams with the second group, doing rim running and stuff like that. Look, the benefit to and I was going to say getting Kemba away from the starters, but you're always going to have either Jalen or Jason on the floor with them, pretty much. That's kind of the idea. But Kemba Walker has been over his career a guy, a saturation scorer, a guy with the ball in his hands, and you want him to go make plays. I mean, he was an incredible player in Charlotte because he was needed to be that, but it was never going to work overall for your team because you didn't have enough around him. So, he can play a little bit more of that selfish game perhaps and get going that way. But he's a guy that really, has had no problem giving the ball up offensively. They've had to push him at times to be more assertive, looking for his own shot. And you've got to be able to live with misses here and there. See, like last night, or as we're talking Saturday morning, Friday night against Milwaukee, the Celtics shot well from 3-point range. They missed some shots. They missed. They took a couple of bad ones that maybe they should have. But the fact that they were taking shots in an up-tempo offense meant that you're going to get more possessions. That playing faster, playing up-tempo, gets you more possessions. And when the ball is moving, the ball finds energy and it rewards energy. And I think that's something that all guys like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown should be embracing. They should be really more than willing to give the ball up and make a cut because there's more of a chance they'll get it back in a position where they can just finish, not have to beat 2 or 3 guys and go through that. They can get some easier buckets. And, I don't know if there's an advanced analytics stat for easy buckets, for EBs, but the Celtics would have to be at the bottom of that list over most of the season.
If you'd like to hear more from Steve Bulpett and myself, check out the full version of the Mike Wise Show from Pure Hoops Media. And if you'd like to see the video version of our quick hitter, you can check that out and much more from Pure Hoops Media on our YouTube channel.